home and also provide easy access to all of us here today, including last 4 weeks. Last but not least, love to introduce our team. We are representing BigginScott Real Estate, probably the largest office in the city Monash, and also you can see with most diversity, most multicultural agents in the area. Number of agents here help you secure this great home today. On my right hand side, Kathy. We have our in-house finance broker, Ming Xu. He's here help you with all your finance needs on site. And Nathan and Jerry, we're all here help you secure this very unique home at number 34 Gertrude Street in Mulgrave. Buyers, we are selling today by public auction. Therefore, 10% deposit is required up on signing the contract. Balance money to be paid in 60 or 90 days. We're conducting Schedule 1 auction. The auction will be conducted in accordance with rules and any additional conditions made available for inspection before today's auction. The auction rules per this auction year from accepting bids or offers after the property be knocked down to the successful bidder. The laws permits vendor bid. The words I will use during the auction to make a bid on behalf of vendor are vendor bid. By law, only I at the auction year can make vendor bid. Buyers, before we start the auction, let's talk of the market. We all understand the good news. In February, the interest rate has started reducing, and perhaps this year up to 5 times interest rate reduction, which means you're going to pay less and less mortgage, and more buyers can afford buying a property now. And when more buyers flood into the market, normally what happens is the price is going up very quickly, and they're going to push lots of people out of market. You all smart buyers today, because today is a great day to buy before the price is too high to afford and too hot to touch. Buyers, today is a great day for you to have all your weekends back. Call this is your home. And of course, this is a unique home as mentioned before. First of all, not many homes in Waverley Park has a swimming pool, and our enjoy many years family moments in the back garden with their daughters. And that's why you're buying this home. You're buying a place you can come back from work, you can relax, you can connect with your family members. And our owners spend lots of money in the property, including the solar, which produce the energy for the property and for the swimming pool during the day. And plus, we have a battery, which means you can still running power on battery at night. This is a green home, it's a future home for you. And our owner have been living here just over 1 decade. You can see they love this home. The reason they're moving out is for the daughter's education in the city. So that's why they are moving, but I'm sure you're gonna enjoy as much as they have done. We have 4 bedrooms upstairs, no matter you have 1, 2, or even 3 children, and provide enough accommodation for them. And in Waverley Park, not many homes can provide you 4-car space in front of your double lock-up garage, which means you can park 6 cars on your title there. It's not on title, but you can see 2 cars here and 2 cars in front of the garage there. And when you have visitors coming and they all have a trouble from the car park before they get into your front door. Buyers, the location. We all understand people moving to Waverley Park for a lifestyle change. And not only lifestyle, but also you have a convenience. You can get off from Monash Freeway if you come back from the city, from the Jackson Road, which only take 2 minutes for you to come back home. And we got all the shops in the entry of the Waverley Park, the best fish and chips, the hairdressing salons, the gym. This is a lifestyle you're gonna enjoy. Waverley Garden Shopping Center, Wheelersfield Shopping Center, Caulfield Grammar, to tick all the boxes once you move into this home. Buyers, one of 2 things gonna happen today. Either 1, we'll sell the property at or above vendor's realistic reserve price, or 2, we'll be passed in the property. If you do pass in, only the last bidder would have first right to buy the home at the vendor reserve price. Buyers, that's enough from me. Hand over to you. We're here to sell, you're here to buy. Where could I see a reasonable opening be? I don't mind where we start. Have you start from 1.1 if you like. 1.1, sir, welcome to the auction. Good luck to you. The youngest buyer so far at 1.1, but I know your parents will pay for it. 1.1 to be at 1,100,000 now. 1.15, even better, 1,150,000, 1.2 next bid, at 1,150,000 the bid here. And you are leading the competition now, 1.2, anyone is welcome, join the competition, have to bid to buy. At 1,150,000 now, at 1.15, at 1.2, come back to me, have to bid to buy. At anyone is welcome, join the competition, here's your chance, 1.15. 1.2, new bidder, welcome to you, all the best to you at 1.2, at 1.2, 1.25, let's keep going, at 1,200,000 was now 1.2 the bid, at 2 horse racing, you are leading the competition now, at 1.2, at 1.25 if you like, at 1.2 the bid, at 1.2, at 1.25 quickly, at 1,200,000 was now, first call 1.2 the bid. 1.2, let's do 225. I'm looking for 50. We're gonna get there. 1.225 at 1,225. Back to you at 1.25 if you like. At 1,225 to be. At 1,225 against you now. At 1.25, welcome back at 1.25 against you now. At 1.25, at 1 million quarter the beat here. At 1.25, 1.275 if you like. At 1,250,000 now. At 1,250,000, quick auction, good auction, 1.25. First call, 1.25 the beat. At 1,275, yes. 275. Welcome to the auction. Good luck to you at 1.275 at 1,275. At 4 bidders now. Multiple bids confirms the value now. At 1.275. At 1.3 if you like. At 1.285. Go with you. 1.285. At 1,285. At 1.285. 1.285. 1.295 if you like. Still looking for 10. At 1.285. At 1,285. Calling 3 times. Testing you now. 1.29. 295 if you like. Looking for 10. 295. Yes?
We'll go for 290.
290. At 1.29, back to you. 1.3 if you like. At 1.29 the bid. At 1,290. 1.3 if you like now. Didn't forget you. You started bidding. Let's finish off. At 1,290 now. At 1.29 the bid. At 1,290. First call 1.29. 1.3, welcome back, 1.3 a half, at 1.3, 1.31 if you like, let's keep going now, at 1.3, at 1,300,000 now, 1.3, calling first time 1.3, at 1.3, second call 1.3, at 1,300,000 now, third and final call, all down, all finished, 1.31. 1.31, I heard it, welcome back, 1.31, 32 if you like. At 1.31 the bid, at 1.31, didn't forget the opening bidder now. At 1.31, come back to me, jump back on the driver's seat. At 1.31 now, at 1,310,000, at 1.3132 if you like. At 1,310,000 now, at 1.31, first call 1,310,000. At 1,310,000 now. Second call 1.31. At 1,310,000. Third and final call. All done. All finished. All silent. Going. No late bid. 1,310,000. 32 if you like. 1,310,000. Quickly. 1,310,000. Bid is here. Keep up good work now. 1.31. 1.315. Go with you. 1.315. At 1.315. At 1.315. The fine top happy tick 5 from you as well. At 1,315,000. At 1,315,000 now. Secure the home. At 1,315,000. At 1.315. Think about the swimming pool. Think about your children playing there. Think about your housewarming party. Everyone coming to you. At 1.315. First call 1,315,000. At 1,315,000, 20 if you like. Gonna be long way drop back home. At 1,315,000, 320 can I suggest? Second call, 1,315 the bid. At 1,315,000, 20, another 5. 16. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to 320. Why don't you give me 320?
No, yeah,
16. I take money there. 16. At 1,316. I heard from the boss. At 1,316. At 1,316 the bid. At 1,316. At 1,316,000. First, second, third, and 1,316. What's your bid? 17. Go with you. As long as we're going up. At 1,317. 1,318 if you like. I can see this is a very friendly neighborhood here. Friendly bidding between bidders as well. At 1,317. At 1,317,000. First, second, third, and final call. All down, all finish, all silent. At 1,317,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I will check with the vendor. I will be back with you very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, the last bid with the family on my left-hand side, 1,317,000. Could I confirm bid with you? Thank you very much. At 1,317,000 now, I'm gonna reopen the bid at 1,317,000. No further bid. We are selling now. This is gonna be the new owner for this lovely home. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. By law, I cannot take any late bid. At 1,317,000, we are on the market selling now. At 1,317, calling 3 times now. Give another one if you like. We are on the market selling. At 1,317. At 1,317 now, calling 3 times now. First call, 1,317 the bid. At 1,317, calling 3 times. No further bid. We sell. At 1,317. Second call. At 1,317,000. At 1,317,000. Third and final call. All down. Oh, 1,000 more. Welcome back. 1,318. 1,318. Back to you again. Now it's up to you. At 1,318. It's up to the market to decide the final price. At 1318 now. At 1,318,000 the bid. At 1318, didn't forget about you now. At 1318. 1318 now. At 1,318,000. At 1318. First call 1,318,000. At 1,318,000. Second call $1,318,000 now. Can I suggest? Let's do one.
That's okay.
You know, another one. 19.
500 up.
19. 1319, yeah?
13185.
13, what goodness do. You know what? Probably gonna cost you 500 on the petrol look for next one. Let's do 19. 1319.
Okay, 19.
Yeah, thank you. 1319. At 1319. Back to you. 1320. Next turn is yours. At 1,319,000, didn't forget you. At 1,319,000 now. At 1319. At $1,319,000 now. Not many homes with a swimming pool in Waverley Park. The last one we sold was 11 Derby Place. That one with a swimming pool, we sold over $1.7 million now. At 1319, 1.32, come back to me if you like. At 1319 the bid. At 1,319,000. At 1319, once this one sold, everyone gonna use this one as a benchmark. You have to pay more after. At 1319 the bid. At 1,319,000, great location, huge potential. 1,319,000. At 1,319,000, never been rented before. You're buying clean history property from the owner. At $1,319,000 now. At 1319 the bid. At 1,319,000 now. At 1319, quickly. First call, 1,319,000. At $1,319,000 now. Second call, 1319 the bid. 320, welcome back at 1320. At 1,320,000 now. Seems like only 2 or perhaps 3 bidders left. At 1,320,000. At 1320. At 1,320,000. At 1320, 21 if you like. You can drop the car into the garage if you buy the property. At 1320, at 1321 if you like. At 1320 the bid. At $1,320,000 now. You don't need to pay, the parents pay for it anyway. You just make decision. Let's do it. 1321 at 1,320. At 1,320 now. First call 1,320. At 1,320. At 1,320, 21, come back to me. Second call, 1,320. 21. 1.3. 221. 1321.
Going once.
At 1,321. Waverley Park produced lots of auction years. At 1321 the bid. At $1,321,000 now. At 1321 the bid. At 1321. At 1,321. 22, come back to me. At 1,321. Bid is here. First call. 1321. Gonna cost you more than $100,000 now for you to install a swimming pool. So you don't need to spend money. You can move in, you can jump into the swimming pool to enjoy today if you like. At 1,321. At 1321 the bid. At 1,321, you save lots of money with a solar panel on your roof there. At 1321, you pay pretty much no electricity bills. At 1321, at 1,321, even at night you don't need to pay. We got a battery come with the property. At 1321 the bid. Back to you, sir. At 1321. First call, 1,321. What a beautiful day to buy real estate. At 1,321. Second call, 1321. No late bid. We are selling now. Third and final call. 322. All done. All finished. All silent. Going. Going. No lead bid. 1321 bids here. Retry your buyer in out. Another one if you like. At 1,321,000. We'll give you plenty of time. I know this is a big decision. I can tell you, you always forget how much you paid for to buy the property, but you always remember how much you miss out. At 1,321,000. At 1,321,000. 322 if you like. At 1,321,000. What about your buyer, Kathy? At 1,322,000 if you like. Imagine your children play in the swimming pool without watching the iPad. Much healthy lifestyle for them. At 1,321,000. By the way, there's no grass for you to cut in the back garden. You save lots of gardening costs too. At 1,321,000. At 1,321,000. First call, 1,321 the bid. Second call, 1,321. Bid with you. At 1,321. Third, 322. 1,322. Welcome back. At 1,322,000. Back to you. At 1,322 the bid. At 1,322,000 dollars now. At 1,322 the bid. At 1,322,000. At 1,322. You back on the driver's seat. You come back 1,323 if you like. We haven't finished yet. At 1,322. At 1,322,000. First time calling now. 1,322,000. Second call, 1,322,000. Third and final call, all done, all finished, all silent. Answer from your buyer, 1,322,000. 23 if you like.
120 days, so
Sure, no worries. Can you check with the vendor quickly? At 1,322,000. Back to you. 1,322,000. Yes. 23. Yes or no? 1,322,000. 23 if you like. Okay, I'll check with you. Once we confirm with the vendor, we're going to announce to everyone at 1,322,000. At 1,322 the bid. The bid with you, this family, you're more closer to the front door. At 1,322,000. At 1,322 the bid here. First call. 1,322,000. Second call, 1,322 the bid. Third and final call. All done. All finished. We'll just check one by one. Richard, your bar is still in and out. 1,322. We're gonna sell the property now at 1,300,000. Sorry? Settlement terms at 1,322,000. 1,322. Bids here. We have lots of neighbor. Welcome the new neighbor join this community. You can see we've got a playground on the right hand side there. 1,322, the bid is here. The owner okay with the 120-day settlement?
Give me 1 minute.
We'll just check with the vendor. If we open to someone, we're gonna open to everyone. At 1,322,000. At 1,322,000 the bid. Sorry to wake up the little one. At 1,322,000. 1,322,000. Get lots of dollar from everyone, so everyone have no regret. What a beautiful home to secure today. At 1,322,000. At 1,322,000. What's the answer? Let us to announce to public. 120 days is okay? Okay. No 120 days. Only if it's small. Now we're gonna reopen the bid 1,322,000. First call 1,322,000. 23, 1,323,000. 23 ahead. 24, come back to me if you like. 23, 1,323 the bid. 1,324 if you like. At 1,323,000. First call 1,323 the bid. Second call 1.325 at 1,325,000. Welcome back. Now we're open to you at 120 days now at 1.235 at 1.325 the bid here. First call 1.325. No further bid. We are selling now at 1,325,000. Bid is here. Calling 3 times. Last opportunity. We are selling 1,325,000. 26 if you like. At 1,325,000. 26 if you like. First call 1,325,000. Still on the phone. 1,325,000. 26. At 1,325,000. Second call 1,325,000. We're selling now. No late bid. 26 if you like. Third and final call. All down. All finish. All silent. With respect to this buyer, I need an answer from you. 26. Yes. 26. 1,326. At 1,326. Against you, and against you now. At 1,326. 1,326 the bid. 27 if you like. At 1,326,000. At 1,326 the bid. At 1,326. At 1,326,000. 27. No. Thank you so much for the bidding. We'll look for another one for you. At 1,326,000. Reach out your buyer. At 1,326,000. First call 1,326. The bid is here. 27 if you like. Second call 1,326. At 1,326,000. At 1,326 the bid. 327. 1,327. At 1,327,000 the bid. Sure. Give me one more bid. I call Leah Nathan for you. At 1,327. 28. Sure. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What's the bid with you, Richard? 327. The bid with your buyer at 1,327,000. 28. Sure. Just one more. One buyer has already dropped out. You got a higher chance now.
2 buyers dropped out.
At 1,327. And you can come back in.
That's okay.
At 1,327. At 1,327,000. At 1,327,000. First call. Sure. Another one. No. Thank you so much for the bidding. 1,327,000. Bid is here. Calling 3 times. No further bid. We are selling. Are you calling the bank manager? No one? One, 1,327. 1,327. 28. Yes. give you the approval. We got the in-house finance broker can get more money for you and lower interest rate. Sure. 1327. 1327. Yes. 1327. 28. 28. Good job, Ming. At 1328. Back to you again. At 1328. See, they come back. You can come back too. At 1328. At 1328. At 1,328. 29. At 1328.
329.
329. 1329. 1329. 1329. First call 1,329. One buyer really dropped out. At 1,329, you are still there. Be the last man standing. You're gonna be the new owner.
30.
30 at 1,330. At 1330. 31, if you like, come back to me. At 1,330. This is a quite long distance and also very short distance. At 1,330. Down. Sure. Thank you so much for the bidding. Now you can jump back in. Only one buyer. Because if you jump in, only a 50-50 chance. At 1,330. Bid is here. Calling 3 times. We are selling. First call. 1,330 now. Second call, 1.33. At 1,330. Third and final call. All down. All finish. 331. 1.331. Good bid. Well, come back now. At 1.331. 332. Let's keep going. At 1,331. At 1,331 the bid.
32.
32. 1332. At 1,332 the bid. At 1,332. At 1,332. First call. 1,332. Second call. 1,332. Sure. Down. Do you need help from our in-house finance broker? We can send Ming there. At 1,332. Third and final call. All done. All finished. I saw you wave. It's a bid. It's for your son. I saw you come back. At 1,300. What the bid with you? 32. 33 if you like. The more you look at the property, the more it worth. The more you look at it, the more you want to move in. 1332. Yes. 1,332. Bid is here. Calling 3 times now. No further bid. We are going. We're selling now. Richard just finished his afternoon shift. Thank you for coming. At 1,332. Done good job. Yes. Jerry, a buyer, continues Richard's work. Another one? No. Thank you so much for the bidding. Sir, you're done. Thank you so much for the bidding. One more time. 1,332,000. First, second, third, and final call. All down, all finished, all silent, going. So, congratulations, well done. Great job. Thank you for coming to another successful BigginScott auction. Have a great weekend.